Hey Warriors, this is Unit 15, Social Psychology. This is our fifth lesson. Social psychology focuses on the interaction of individuals within with society, with people, and how it affects our thinking. And one of those areas is love and attraction that social psychologists are interested in. And this is one of my favorite lessons, so let's talk about it. First off, what does it mean to be attracted? What is attraction? Well, it's the feelings of liking someone and having positive thoughts and emotions about them. And it's not just about romantic feelings, it's also about friends, family, how we are attracted to the people in our lives. What is it? What are the qualities that attract us to certain individuals? Have you ever asked that of yourself? Why do I like this person? Well, it usually comes down to these four factors, and they are proximity, physical attraction, similarity, and reciprocity. Let's break them down. First off, proximity. Proximity means the geographic nearness of that certain someone. Do you see that person often? Social psychologists will study how people are likely to marry somebody who lives in the same neighborhood, they sit nearby in class, they work in the same setting, or they eat together because of mere exposure. Mere exposure effect is when we are repeatedly exposed to that person, and that increases our liking of that person. All right, so proximity. If you live nearby somebody, then you see them often. And the more often you see them, the more you see yourself thinking of that person. I had last semester, maybe 4 couples that came out of couples. You're in high school, but you started dating because you saw each other in class. So did you ever get that crush on somebody who was in your class? It happens. Or maybe that teacher that you see every day. I used to have a student, I remember, that told me I had a crush on one of their teachers, and it was the cutest thing, but also a little unrealistic. Mere exposure. We see these people, we find ourselves liking them because we see them a lot. Next is physical attraction. Now, physical attraction can be difficult because you never know when it's going to crop up. But studies show that physical qualities are a major determinant in initial attraction. And women will be the ones who say that it's less important than men will. Men will say physical attraction is more important. And tall men are considered more attractive and make more money. For females that are attracted to males, they're going to say that they want a man who is taller than them, up to 8 inches taller. Men are more 3 inches is fine, whatever. Smiling is considered more attractive and more sociable, and so more endearing, draws the person in. And wearing glasses is perceived as less attractive and more intelligent. So take a look at this young girl. Do you find her cute right now, or more approachable than if she were wearing glasses? Oh, suddenly she's a librarian. She knows all the things. That's a schema. That's a stereotype. Shame on me. Every culture is different when it comes to physical attractiveness, so where you live matters. Things that are similar throughout cultures, these universal features of attractiveness include high cheekbones and eyebrows, large eyes, full lower lip, and fuller hair. Now, I wonder why we're not talking about this for males. Why aren't we talking about what's attractive for a male? High cheekbones, high eyebrows, and bushy, thick eyebrows for men? Why don't I have a picture of a man there? Am I being stereotypical and discriminatory? Maybe. Some cultural features of attractiveness vary. Body shapes and head coverings. It just depends on culture and the time. And I'll give you some evidence of this in class. So, really cool video coming up. It's from BuzzFeed. Can't show you right now because YouTube will flag it and I'll get in trouble. But I'll show it to you in class. Third is similarity, and this one can get a little bit creepy if you think of similarity like people are looking for people who look similar to them. That's not just necessarily the case, because when we look in a mirror and we see the things that we like about ourselves, we might be looking for that in another individual and we just don't acknowledge it. That's a different topic. But similarity is based on a matching hypothesis because people seek partners and friends who are similar to themselves in attractiveness. So if you consider yourself a 7, you're looking for a 7 or below, because you may not think that you're 10. And so you lower your standards subconsciously. You're not consciously thinking about, oh, I want to go for the hot one because I'm hot. No, you're more like, well, I'm basic, so I'm looking for a basic guy or girl. That's the matching hypothesis. And we do choose mates who are similar in our ethnicity, age, level of education, and religion because that's what we have in common. That's the similarity. It goes back to proximity. If I live nearby somebody, I'm going to see that person often. And if I share the same interests, it gives us more to talk about and bond on. If we have the same supernatural being, like I talked about in the last video, then that's something that we can relate to and have more intimacy and commitment to. So we're going to share that. Now I have another great video. This is one of the most powerful videos about love and attraction I'm going to show you. So I can't wait to show it to you in class. Our last factor as to why we might love and attract somebody is reciprocity. And reciprocity is just like a reciprocal, like an inverse fraction. We flip it over. When somebody says, I like you, you suddenly find yourself saying, oh, I like you too. And that's important when it comes to the dating because we're being vulnerable when we ask somebody out, hey, will you go to prom with me? There's a risk involved. That person might say no, and we're less inclined to ask somebody who is going to tell us no because it hurts our feelings, it hurts our ego. So when Betty says, hey, Bert, I like you, and Bert's like, you know what? I find myself liking you too. It's because of reciprocity. Think back to 3rd grade when you wrote your special someone, I like you, do you like me too? Like it's easier to say yes to that because that person has already opened the door to the possibility that you and I are going to date. 3rd grade, cool. Reciprocity works in everyday life too. Reciprocity is an exchange between people. I have something, you have something, and I like it. So think about when you get the check at a restaurant and it comes with a fortune cookie or a mint. That server knows that if I sweeten the deal, I'm going to get a bigger tip. So you've done something for me, I'll do something for you. There's a reciprocity in our arrangement. The same is true for love and attraction. In high school, a lot of your thought and energy may go to love and attraction, and it may not reach the level of ultimately powerful love. And that's what we've got here, differentiating between 2 different types of love. So love can be passionate and it can be companionate. Passionate is what we feel when we see that crush across the room. The intense, sensual, all-consuming excitement and intense sexuality. It's based on hormones and neurotransmitters like testosterone, dopamine, adrenaline. But the thing about passion is it fades away over time. Your love is not always going to be passionate. And so if you, it might happen to you when you're 15 years old, but it's more common among adults when our prefrontal cortex is finally fully developed and we're able to develop a relationship with someone that is based on companionate love. This is a deep, affectionate attachment, the feelings of trust, calmness, and bonding. Think of maybe your grandparents. They've been together for a long time, maybe, and they have the companionate love where it's based on respect. We've been through all this together and they appreciate each other. This is more can last forever. It's based on other things like, let me show you here. This man is Robert Sternberg, and he has developed this triangular theory of love based on all the things that are outside of the triangle, like intimacy, commitment, and passion, which all come together to develop into what he calls consummate love. And in order for us to develop this whole companionate love, we have to have 3 factors, and those are intimacy, passion, and commitment. There's all kinds of different combinations of love according to Dr. Sternberg, which includes romantic love, companionate, infatuation, empty love. All of these things combine when you get to consummate love. And, if we're getting into a love and attraction relationship, ultimately that's what we're trying to get to, well, according to Dr. Sternberg. But as it says, it's kind of rare. And, well, life goals, hashtag relationship goals. I know one couple who are in their 70s, and for me, they're the model of consummate love because they have all of these things. And I love them. I have love for them. So they're a friendship that I really value. The way that they live their lives is a model for me because they're deeply respectful of one another. And, well, they're just really great. So in your life, look at 14, 15 to 18 years old. These are things that are going to materialize in your life later down the road. Yes, love and attraction is important to you as a teenager, but you've got a lot more life to live. So try to figure yourself out, and then you can make yourself into the ultimate partner and how to be a great person. That's my wish for you. And I know that one day you're going to have a relationship that matters to you.